I want y'all to understand something. Another compilation of some things that y'all need to know about. Y'all probably don't even know. Because, this channel is about spreading, awareness of things y'all need to know. You got to understand something. They're really trying to strip us down, have us walk in fear, and have this country being soulless. Letting our morale be very, very low of the things they want to do. I mean, just look up Agenda 2030. You cannot let this continue. Let this be allowed, because everything is in motion. But it's up to you to make a difference as a people, as a civilian, as it's your God-given right to have your own boat and to set sail in your own shit and go wherever you want to go, wherever you want to do. Okay? So, just a heads up, that it might be some uncomfortable truths here. Some things that you need to, do your own research yourself. Some of it, should be taken into consideration. But yeah, this is MasterBoris. I'm sorry.
What happened at the conference?
Marco Rubio. He gave.
What conference was this?
This was the Global Security Conference.
Global Security Conference.
And so Hungary has signed a pact to join America in our group, and a few other countries have decided to go in our group. And Marco Rubio just told the world, and all of these other countries started. They basically said the same thing. France said it. Russia, as part of their speeches, that the post 1945, which is the current era, it's dead. It's being reformed into difference. The UN is going away, so there will not be a UN. Yeah, the UN is going away, the World Health Organization, all that stuff. All of the old partnerships, that's why the US doesn't care about Europe anymore. Europe has they have no value to America right now. So that's why America's looking at Greenland, they're looking at South America. That's why they gave Argentina $200 million that we allegedly don't have.
We stay giving money out.
We stay giving money out.
Because it didn't make sense for us to fuck around with the Ukraine. There's no value for us there. All of the value is in this hemisphere.
Yeah, because I think it's still like a lot of untapped value here. That's why people are tapping on Africa. They're trying to get that untapped value, but somebody's already on that. They're already on. That's what I'm saying. So the U.S. is forced to stay within this hemisphere anyway. So it really don't matter.
We need Greenland. He's going to get a deal. We really need Greenland and Canada, and that pretty much locks us in. But the money is what's going to be the big factor when all of the currencies collapse and everybody. So China already has their stable coin.
Well, China also, everybody owes China. So if anything, China is going to force everybody to, there's going to be like, bitch, time to collect.
Hey, you got to pay up or it's wartime.
And then we don't want that.
And yeah, don't want war. That's why the U.S. why do you think they changed the name? Stupid Department of War.
Yeah.
It's
DOW. I was like, what?
It's all part of this whole game that's being played. And I'm saying, if you don't have money in the, I wouldn't even want to have money in the bank. Shit, it's damn near better.
Yeah, because we know what happened. You might not get your money out the motherfucking bank now. And then look at, what was that country you told me during COVID when they took 30% of everybody's money out of the bank?
Oh, it's done multiple times. Argentina did it. Turkey did it. Greece did it a couple of times. Cyprus has done it. So it's all played out.
Whatever's in any account, they took.
They come in and took a nice 30%. It was
30% ain't nothing. That's a big chunk.
That's why you need to be in some level of asset. That's why I kind of remember a few years ago I moved all of my stuff out of. It's
not this one. The next one.
I moved it out of cash. I can. In my bank account, maybe $500. I keep like $500, and I just keep moving a little bit by a little bit. I don't keep money in that. Most of my money's tied up in stocks or Bitcoin or some sort.
That's real dicey. But you have the ability where you can watch your money. Some people don't have that ability where they gotta put more than that.
That's why they got the AI things though. It'll do it for you.
The what?
They got the AI things in the Vanguard system.
You got AI and you got
do it for you.
Just tell it what you want it to do, and it'll do it all for you. Just put your money there. I would not recommend having it just sitting there, because that ain't gonna do anything for you. Number one, it's hard for them to go in and take people's stock. The way they do that is you bankrupt certain companies. That's how you take the money out of the stock market. But if you're in companies like I am, I'm all energy. I'm energy and chip stocks. They're not gonna fuck with those guys because they absolutely need them. If you holding on to Walmart and
Nike and shit like that,
man, you in trouble.
Oh wow. Oh.
Like, nah, I don't need to hold any of that shit.
This whole COVID madness, this so-called pandemic, it was just a test balloon. A gigantic test balloon. Well, for what, you ask? Well, to see how far they could go. To see what exactly they would have to do to get free individuals in a free and democratic society to consent to being forced into compliance. That's what they were trying to establish. That's what they were trying to figure out. And they have figured it out. Trust me, they are much smarter now. The goal ultimately is to transform our free and democratic societies into totalitarian societies. Their goal is to strip each and every one of us of our fundamental rights of freedom, democracy, the rule of law. They want to get rid of all of this. This whole COVID thing had never anything to do with public health. It never had anything to do with breaking waves. It always had to do with breaking people in order to make us a part of a mindless, malleable mass, which they can totally control, and we will be completely dependent upon this globalitarian elite. So I'm really imploring the people and all the peoples around the world, for God's sake, stop giving your democratically elected governments the benefit of the doubt. They are not deserving of that. They are not. Stop rationalizing whatever your government is doing. Stop rationalizing and come up with some good intentions. They have no good intentions. Never. As I said before, in the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite concerned about the well-being of regular people. And it isn't any different now. Why should it? Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny. It is impossible. Trying to do so, you will only feed a gigantic alligator in the hopes of being eaten last. But guess what? Your turn will come, and then you will be the one swallowed up. I also have to ask the people, end your silence. Speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist.
One of the things that I do is I try to help people get a picture of what I mean by racism. So tell me how it is. The first category is white racism, then we'll deal with black racism. So white racism. Tell me the ways in which white racism adversely impacts the lives of black people. Just what are the ways that white racism can adversely impact the lives of black people as a group? What are some of those ways? I'm sorry? Power, but how is that defined specifically? Education, okay. I'm sorry? Economically, employment. What else? Housing, what else? Policing. Why are we here today? Healthcare, okay. Now, we can actually kind of grow that list. Now we're going to move over to black racism. Tell me the ways in which black racism adversely impacts the lives of white people as an entire group. Thank you. The reason why you become silent, there's one that always comes up, and that's fear. White people are afraid of black people. They are afraid of us. And it's a very interesting thing because black people know it. We know white people are afraid. But you have to start getting into the psychology. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? But it's an interesting dynamic. Now, also you see the difference in what racism is, do you not? Racism implies you have not just prejudice, but the power to do something with that prejudice. Now, I don't like you, not only that, but I'm going to control whether you can get, I may say I hate you. I hate white people. I hate them. It's not going to change you getting that, loan when you go to the bank. I can hate you all the way to the bank. Not going to change. Do you see the difference? That whereas white racism says, not only do I not like you, but I'm going to change the impact of where you can live. I'm going to determine with that racism where your powers are. You following me? And I'm talking about as a group, not an individual, because people said, I remember when my uncle didn't. I'm not talking about your uncle. I'm talking about the whole group. I'm not talking about an incident. That's the difference.
Every church had a Bible like this. Every Christian family had a Bible like this, and they put their family genealogy, the weddings, baptisms and burials. It was all put inside the Bible, and you passed it down generation to generation. This particular Bible was published in 1905. Now, the reason I brought it out is that I want to show a map that's in this Bible. Now, mind you, the Schofield Bible was not published until 1913.
Right.
And I have in my office an original 1913 Schofield, which was the introduction of the Zionist heresies about a future state of Israel and separating the church from Israel and all that rapture stuff. That's where it came from. This is a 1905 Bible.
Pre-Schofield.
Pre-Schofield, with no Schofield notes in it. So, you open it up, and this is on page 13. I mean, this thing's big. I want to show you. Here is a map of the Holy Land. And it says, what?
Oh, Palestine of the Holy Land.
They misspelled Israel. No.
Palestine.
Palestine.
Huh.
And all these Christian Zionists that tell me, Rick, there's never been a Palestine.
All right, so here's a still.
There it is.
Let's zoom in and show you here.
Yeah. So, yeah, you hear these people like John Hagee, there's never been a Palestine. Well, look at this Bible map from 1905.
And most Bibles,
yes,
from then had a map of
Palestine. And Palestine is in the Bible itself, in the Old Testament. So we're showing you this just because I'm trying to break through the propaganda, the confusion, the lies that the Zionists have implanted in millions of minds of Christians in America, and told them there's never been a place called Palestine.
But I have a map, Rick.
For everyone genuinely believing Western media propaganda about what's going on in Iran, they lied to you about Vietnam with the Gulf of Tonkin incident used to justify war. They lied to you about South Africa by supporting apartheid for years and calling it stability. They lied about Kuwait with false testimony to sell the Gulf War. They lied about Iraq. There were no weapons of mass destruction. They lied about Afghanistan. Internal documents, which you can access yourself, showed officials knew the war was not winnable. That progress was being exaggerated to the public for years. We struggled in Afghanistan. They lied to you about Colombia under the guise of war on drugs while fueling violence against Colombians. They lied about Venezuela through sanctions and narratives around intervention. They lied about Libya, claiming it was about protecting civilians, and it turns into a regime change. They lied to you about Syria, constantly shifting narratives around who we were actually supporting. They lied to you about Yemen while backing a humanitarian crisis. They lied about the DRC, ignoring and enabling exploitation and genocide tied to resources. They lied about Sudan, downplaying involvement and strategic interests. They lied to you about Palestine, framing occupation and violence as self-defense. What on earth makes you think they are telling you the truth about Iran? The United States loves to talk about how Iran can't have weapons, but who gave them to them? You ever heard of the Iran-Contra affair in the 1980s? The United States secretly sold weapons to Iran, even though we publicly considered Iran an enemy. and we had an arms embargo in place. They were not supposed to have weapons. And then they took the money they got from selling those weapons and illegally funded a war in Nicaragua behind the Congress and the public's back. Became one of the biggest scandals in political history, triggered congressional investigations, led to indictments, convictions of multiple officials. No? And all while this is even still happening, Iran was still treated like an enemy publicly. So if that happened then, what makes you think everything happening now is being fully told to you? Open your eyes.
El gobierno de Estados Unidos decide mandar a la CIA para Venezuela. ¿Ustedes vieron la noticia? Autorizaron que la CIA haga operaciones contra Venezuela, contra la paz de Venezuela. Eso nunca se había visto. Siempre lo han hecho. Siempre lo han hecho. Pero jamás ningún gobierno anterior, desde que la CIA existe, dijo públicamente que mandaba a la CIA a matar, a derrocar y a acabar a los países. Aquí está un historiador, Alejandro. Nunca, Alejandro. Y pueden revisar la historia de los últimos 70 años. Todos los golpes de Estado en América Latina. 1974, Guatemala, Jacobo Arben. 1965, República Dominicana, Juan Bosch. 1964, Brasil, João Goulart. 1973, Chile, Salvador Allende. Solo para contar unos pocos, todos los golpes de Estado en América Latina, comprobados por los documentos publicados por el gobierno de Estados Unidos desclasificados, todos los gobiernos fueron derrocados y los presidentes asesinados por la CIA. Y pare usted de contar en el mundo. Mossadegh, 1952, Irán, un presidente nacionalista. Y al pasar del tiempo la CIA dijo, pedimos perdón, porque derrocamos a todos estos presidentes porque dijimos que eran comunistas, que eran terroristas. Pero al pasar del tiempo nos dimos cuenta que era mentira, que no era verdad. Le pedimos perdón a Guatemala, República Dominicana, Brasil, Chile, Irán. ¿Cómo se llama eso? Inmoralidad. Pero por primera vez en la historia, un gobierno en Estados Unidos dice que ha dado autorización y orden para ir a atacar a un país. Yo solamente digo, nuestro pueblo está claro, está unido, está muy consciente, tiene millones de ojos y millones de oídos, y tiene las formas para que nosotros volvamos a derrotar esta conspiración abierta contra la paz y la estabilidad de Venezuela y ganemos la paz y la estabilidad a la cual tiene derecho el pueblo de Venezuela.
When it comes to cancer, any cancer, you want to use herbs that cleanse the blood. So we got red clover, then we got chaparral, then we got burdock root, then we're going to go with dandelion root, then golden seal, and echinacea. This is the combination you want to use, family.